criticizing them, you know, and they should understand that one of the things too that brings a good leader, that makes a good leader, and bring development is when you're being criticized. You know, we call it constructive criticism. You need to look inward and say, okay, is this, you check, there should be kind of a profile where you check the level of people criticizing you and the level of people that are hailing you. You now look at the level of criticism and make an adjustment. Begin to know because that criticism is the yearnings of the people.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yeah.
You know, it's just like having a newborn baby that you, after feeding the baby is crying. You keep crying, keep crying. What the baby is telling you, something is wrong.
Exactly.
That you need, that apart from the food you've given to me, there is something wrong with me that you really need to
pay
look
attention
at for.
to.
You know, to pay attention to. So that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So I think it is, we are in democracy, and they should know that this democracy was fought for. People lost their life, people gave in, people went to prison for this democracy to come. It's not something we should be toiling with.
And they are toiling with it,
and that's what
seriously.
It is,
But Ifoma, what do you have to say about NYSC, particularly being an apolitical institution, now trying to play politics like this, going to a length such as withdrawing a core member?
Okay, I think maybe probably some persons might not really have a background information about what really happened. Like Raye, as they call her, is a TikToker and a social media influencer. She came out March 2025, and she criticized the government of bad leadership. She tagged Lagos as smelling, talked about the poor condition of Lagos and the inflation of things. And then she was summoned by the local government, the LGI and the NYSC, for, you know, to explain whatever happened. And according to her, she went there with Showore, and at the end of the day, they said something like the NYSC officials were not even present.
Yeah.
You get. And the whole issue died down then. If you notice, then they promised core members of 77K, which was due for a very long time. Because of this girl coming out to speak out, they started paying the 77K. They even added arrears on top of it. Now, a lot of people were praising her, Raye, we love you, you're Raye for president and the rest of it. But what then happened was, after the whole service year, she was supposed to round up with the current people that just passed out. But her service was extended as a result of she coming out to speak about the bad governance in Nigeria. And it is actually quite sad that, according to the 1999 Constitution, Section 39, which speaks about the human rights, that people have the right to come out, express their opinions, criticize the government, but you could see clearly that people cannot come out and speak out, tell their truth, speak it as it is without being punished or sanctioned. It's clearly what is going on in Nigeria, and you could see that Raye fell into that trap. And you could see that even people that were rooting for her then, saying, go Raye, we love what you're doing, everybody has died down the whole thing. She's now the one suffering it. And I'm asking, is this really what Nigeria is supposed to be? Is this really what democracy stands for? Do you understand? And withholding her certificate, I think the story, she says something about going for the April clearance, and the LGI asked her to leave the premises. So, but what they are saying now is that she did not come for the clearance, But she said I think the story, she said something about going for the April clearance.
Out, and it garnered a lot of attention to the extent that Raye, who is even currently in detention, in police detention, accompanied her there to kind of settle things. But there is something that comes to mind, especially as a core member. When you are in camp, right, they tell you that for the 1 year that you are going to be serving, that you are not expected to critique the government. They literally hold an assembly after the morning prayers, and they address us, especially if they have visitations from Abuja. They will just come and address everybody and tell you that for the 1 year that you're serving, you are not allowed to critique the government. They even go as far as saying, oh, you're a government property for that 1 year. You understand? So I'm saying, is there any law? I wish the lawyers in the comment section should come and tell us. Please just let us know in the comment section. Is there a law that says a core member cannot openly critique the present administration when serving? That's another aspect. Now, moving on. Apart from the case of this Raye lady, there are other situations. Dele Farotimi, Raye, and the rest. Even the bill that was given to Dele Farotimi, the 50 million naira bill, because of his book that was published. And now, Raye, I just wanted to ask, I mean, what is this present administration so afraid of that they go to lengths to silence people? I mean, is it wrong? Is it so wrong for people to come out and say, okay, yeah, I like what you're doing, then other people to say, I don't think you're doing it like this, especially for the general manager of that radio station, who, if you read his tweets or the things that he said to the government, was just giving his own political advice on the matter, on how to better run the state. But now, this is what has happened. And there is a comment that I wanted to also bring to our table. The spokesperson for the government on this case said that the particular general manager, after the kind of attraction that it has gotten from the government, the kind of support it has gotten from the government, in essence of the transformer that was given to the radio station, not just the transformer, but the vehicle that was given to them and the cash gifts that were given to them, instead of providing a balanced review, went on to critique the government like this. Now, I'm saying, is this basis for his suspension, Mr. Daniel?
Well, you've seen the kind of country where we are in. Nobody wants to be criticized. Everybody wants to be hailing them, shouting, you're too good, you are too good. And things are not in the right places. It becomes a problem. And that's why I know you asked, are we really practicing democracy? You could find out that we are not practicing democracy. You remember what happened in NSAS, where people came out to criticize and they were all killed. So many of them there was issues here and there. But all still the same. It would not change the fact that we still do not have people who understands the basicity of democracy. Jonathan was criticized from now till the end of his administration. He didn't kill people, he didn't want to do anything that would jeopardize the citizens of Nigeria. So I do not see any reason. Somebody has right. You just rightfully said the Constitution on Section 339 gives people the freedom of speech. And a FOI bill was passed. Freedom of expression, freedom of information, it was passed. So people going are just as desperate people who do not want to look at the criticism they maybe somebody has right to say, well, just that people wants to be desperate. Because in every administration, every leadership, there are sycophants. There are people who just believe that nobody should talk about their subjects.
Yes.
It's not done. It's not done. The governor of Anambra State here when there was a high level of insecurity, everybody was on him. Everybody was saying, I didn't see how many times he said they should go and arrest people or they should suspend anybody.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask Mr. Daniel, both to Ifeoma and to you, if this is the situation we have found ourselves in, unfortunately, what do we tell the younger generation, the children that are still coming up and that are looking up to us? So are we saying keep quiet? When you see something, you don't say anything. Are we saying that now it's apparently wrong to criticize? Because what is the way forward? What do you think? How do we move on from this?
Okay, if you're going to see something, but let me tell you, the mantra in Anambra says, if you see something, say something. It's a mantra. It has been happening. And once things like that comes up, the authority in charge should look into it.
But they are not looking into it.
No, I'm saying of this particular state.
Okay, for Anambra, of course. I meant on a national scale.
In the national scale, people become unnecessarily desperate. There must be criticism. You are even, as a man, as a family man, you have criticism in your home when you're not doing well. So when people are criticizing, they're not doing it because you are bad. They're talking about this system. Yeah. They're talking about things that needs to be put in check, things that need to be done right.
Exactly.
So it shouldn't be a yardstick for people to now say, why must you talk? Okay. Meanwhile, the Nigerian police that are protesting otherwise, is that a bad thing? Protest is a right of every worker. You can protest. And what you needed to do, what the leadership needs to do, is to look into the protest and make things to work to be right.
Exactly.
That's it.
And I actually wanted to say something about this, the whole saga going on, the suspension and the rest of it. And I'm like, where is the right of the press? Because according to the press, if you go back in the days, press are meant to take actions. Press are supposed to hold the leaders accountable for their actions. You understand? They listen to the cries of the people, and then they kind of bring it, they table it in one, and then push it over, make it an agenda. You get push it over to the people that is ruling. You understand? I mean, at this point, I'm like, if he should be suspended by criticizing the government, irrespective of the fact that the station is receiving something or gaining something from the government.
It's a private own. It's owned by a senator, a former senator.
Even though it was owned, it doesn't still stop you from pointing out the areas that somebody is not doing it right. You have that right to criticize. You have that. I mean, it is part of their right as press. You understand? Freedom of expression. Say it. Speak truth to power. You understand? If somebody is doing something wrong, speak the truth. Talk to them, irrespective of whatever you're getting from them. Speak it.
I don't know what the government is expecting will happen. Are they trying to instill fear in
exactly.
people?
Exactly, that's just the point.
And this particular suspension now is actually going to make other media firms scared, because if they come out to speak ill about the government, they stand a chance of being suspended or even fired. You get, and then I shut down. Exactly.
Let me help you a little bit. Sorry. You see, one of the reasons why the guy was suspended is that the owner of the radio station works with the government.
And so?
So you get the point now. So this is somebody who benefits from the government.
Even though.
No, I'm coming. That's what I'm going to. Now, you understand. But if it was an opposition to the government, the radio station will be shut down.
So there are levels to these things?
Yes, there are levels to it. Definitely they're going to shut it down. Or even demolish it and say that, and bring up one issue or the other. See, what we're trying to say is that our leaders should be held accountable to some certain things. You are the chief security officer of a state.
Yeah.
And when things are not going right, you must develop that consciousness that people are definitely going to criticize.
Exactly.
People must speak. This is not a one-party system that we are running. Everybody should be involved, all inclusive.
Exactly.
Now, you don't tell a taxpayer that he or she should not speak when things are wrong. That person is a taxpayer.
Exactly.
So we must understand this fact. People need to rebrand our leadership.
Just,
they need to be
because Nigerians
there should be a level of rebranding in their life to understand, to open up yourself for criticism.
Yes.
No,
that is why in workplace we have what we call appraisal.
Yes.
So that appraisal is for you to appraise, to see if you've been doing well.
Yes.
And from there, you know your weaknesses. You know how to improve them more.
It's as if they don't want to even improve.
So that is the issue. Now, I can bet you the governor might not be aware.
I doubt that. Because
Let me give you an instance. I can bet you he might not be aware. It is just people who are overzealous, who are under his payroll, that wants to do these things. I'm just telling you how it happens.
All right.
Now, take for instance, people who go to use mortar to inflict injuries on people in Anambra State. The governor didn't send you to do that. All he said is, get these people arrested and hand them over to the appropriate authority. But people go, as far as trying to make, so that I will be in the good book of most of the time.
No, I get what you're saying. That's
problem.
why I want us to take a look at what Nigerians are saying, because this is happening. This is a telltale sign of what might happen to you if you come out and, let's look at this from Felice. He says, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Her only crime was wanting a better country from Tinubu administration. He's referring to Raye now. Mezier said, only in Nigeria do I see human beings ruled like animals in the zoo. No respect for human rights, no respect for human dignity, not even a single respect for the law. Just a bunch of people masquerading as leaders. Laugh and Learn says, withholding her certificate is both unjust and an act of victimization. The NYSC certificate is not a privilege or favor, that's the thing. It is a legal entitlement once all service obligations have been fulfilled. This move suggests NYSC may be weaponizing bureaucracy as a form of punishment. This person says that's why they say freedom after speech isn't guaranteed. The exact thing we said in the studio. Desmond also said, this is truly unjust. Raye deserves her certificate without delay. Her courage in speaking truth should be met with fairness. You know, they say the truth shall set you free, but maybe not in Nigeria. The truth definitely does not set people free.
The government actually have a profile, a profile of a situation whereby you criticize them and they don't listen to your critics. If you check last week, we discussed about, is it the northern people lamenting about the whole, and at the end of the day, nobody paid attention to their lamentation. And I'm like, it seems this is more like a tradition for them. People cry and it's what they want to do that they do at the end of the day. I mean, let's talk about the press. Apart from the fact that I mentioned something like the press have the right to criticize the government. You understand? So long as there is nothing like libel and defamation involved, they can speak the truth to power. Sadly.
Another thing is when we have to balance it. Most of the times, I've told you guys here, there are some overzealous press people who might not make proper verification, but act because somebody pays you to do that, to do a damage. We have them. So definitely, when things like this arises, it calls that the parent body of journalists should look into it. We have the NUJ.
NBC.
We have the RATAO, Radio Television Theatre Workers Union. We also have NBC, who is the parent body of all media. Things must be properly verified. And when they check that, when there is a panel of inquiry and they should look into things like this and make the assertion and say,
I would like to disagree
understand?
on a certain level in the sense that I feel like most of the cases that we have seen has not been an issue of verification. It has been an issue of them voicing out their pain and saying this is what the government is doing that is not right and they can improve on. I don't think we've had a lot of verification issues.
Definitely when things like this, when there is an issue,
yes,
when it has become a problem now, so it needs the proper thing to do is the body that are involved
should overlook the matter.
No, should look into the matter,
yes.
Investigate the matter, and come out verbally and tell the government, this we've not seen anything wrong that our member has done, or okay, we have looked into this and we'll find him guilty of this.
They then now take charge and punish whatever.
How it should
not
be.
the government going directly to.
You can't go. If you go directly, you're killing the system. You're making the system vulnerable. And that's just it. So definitely they must look into it. But what I'm telling you about this Ebonyi guy is that, like I said, the owner of the is working with the present government. He's in the same political
and they should change the name from the Voice of Now to the name of the politician now. They should change the name.
It's Legacy FM.
Yes, the Voice is now, be the Voice of Now. They should change it to the name of the politician.
No, you see, now another thing is that in every establishment, there is a code of conduct. You must adhere to it.
True.
When you come into it, you sign. So you have no reason to break the law. The code of conduct in your establishment. It's as you parking into a house and the landlord gives you an MOU to sign. After reading it, you sign. And when you sign, you ought to abide to that rules. You understand? You ought to abide to it.
To by the rules.
And play by it.
No, so that's why I also wanted to.
The issues.
Yeah.
That's exactly the issues.
So what do you think, Ifoma, moving forward? Mr. Daniel mentioned the fact that we have bodies, the NBCs and the rest that are supposed to govern the affairs of media personnel and pressmen and so on. But now, it seems as though, from the experiences so far, especially for radio stations, organized radio stations.
And again, let me drop this thing. Majority of the radio stations and television stations will have, majority, are not registered with that body.
With which body? NBC?
We have the NUJ.
Okay, yeah.
And you have Ratao. Yeah. Because if you are not a member, you don't pay off your check of dues. They will not step into.
Okay, that can also play in. But okay, what of those that I have not heard? I don't know if you both have. I've not heard a situation whereby this thing happened and a body comes out to speak.
I told you of Niger State's own, where the radio station was shut down.
Yeah,
Ratawo was there. The newly installed national president,
what did they do?
No, you have to go and tell the government, this is our case. You don't wake up and shut down a radio station.
Yeah.
It's our case. You present it to us, and we will present to NBC. If NBC had to come out and tell the governor of Niger State that you can't shut down, you have no power.
Yeah, to do that. I feel like sometimes they forget where their power starts and ends. But like, any final words on your end moving forward about people being free and expressing themselves?
Yes, in the case of Raye, like I said before, that you could see clearly that it's the LGI that is withholding her certificate.
Someone gave him the instructions.
Yes, to do that. I would want NYSC, NYSC to look into the matter and make sure that this girl, you've already suspended her. Pity for her and give her her certificate. Exactly.
Straight up.
And then, and for the suspended
general
manager, it's quite sad that this happened to you. But I think this is actually an eye-opener for other persons. You understand, you've come out, you spoke your truth, you understand. I think other press should equally still kind of emulate this. I know most definitely that some people will not want to go out of their jobs because they wouldn't want to be sacked because if you leave this one, truth, but that shouldn't still stop you from speaking the truth. Whenever you see something is not going right, other press should. That some people will not want to go out of but that shouldn't still stop you from speaking as it is. Do not paint it. But at the same time,
democratic governance. All right, he says. But thank you so much, Mr. Daniel, for always joining me on Morning Pulse. It's always a pleasure. And to our viewers, thank you so much for sticking with us. Please remember that you can air your views in our comment section, and watch out for our afternoon show as it day hot, where we'll be bringing to you live hot trending stories from all over Nigeria. Remember, if you see something, say something. That is that's the mantra for